The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Directions Mag Geospatial webinar, today sponsored by our friends at Melissa. I'm Barbara Duke, Managing Editor here at Directions Mag, joined by our webinar producer, Lynette Qualia. If you have any questions about your connection, just drop us a note in the chat. We'll do our best to help you. We encourage you to stop by directionsmag.com for geospatial news, articles, podcasts, and of course, more webinars. Type those questions at any time into the question box during the webinar. We will ask as many as possible during Q&A, even though that will be probably a little short today. But rest assured, the Melissa team will follow up with you personally after the webinar with anything that you are interested in learning. We're recording today's webinar, so keep an eye on your inbox in the coming days for that recording and your attendance certificate. We also appreciate your opinion on the survey as well as our polls today. We are excited to have Daniel and Todd with us today to talk about cleaning up our addresses for better accuracy and success. So without further ado, Daniel, over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Barbary Duke. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Daniel Lee, and I am the Vice President of Data and Analytics at Melissa. My co-presenter today will be Todd Troughton from Stellarad, who has used our data and worked with us, and will be sharing some of the benefits of that. More on that later. Here's some pictures to connect the face to our names. Melissa has over 37 years of experience in data quality, global addresses, and contact data. We can verify, append, and confirm data for you through our myriad web services, data and professional services, or simply provide you with the data you need for your own analysis. We are SOC 2 certified, and from the cloud to on-premises, from providing you data to running the process for you, Melissa has you covered. Address data is one of the most important facets of contact data, and it, along with related data, will be the main topic of today's presentation. What can bad address data mean for you? Well, a return package due to an incorrect or incomplete address will cost you money, manpower, and processing time, especially with rising costs from fuel to labor hours. Or you may experience dissatisfied customers due to a delayed delivery, or have to address the issue manually, costing you time and money. Dirty data in means dirty data out when you're trying to make informed business decisions, but basing them on inaccurate or incomplete data. To assist you with having the most accurate and detailed information on addresses, Melissa has a global address database system that contains over 200 million records in the United States alone. That includes PO boxes, apartments, and suites. We update the database monthly with additions, deletions, and updates to columns such as latitude, longitude coordinates, census data, address type, and all the address components, such as the house number, suite number, the street name, city, state, zip code, +4, and more. All of these addresses can be identified by a unique and simple 10-digit number we call the Melissa Address Key, or MAC. We'll talk more about this in 2 slides. You can select the set of columns you're interested in a specific geographic area, a region by name, or even the whole country. The same applies to our neighbor to the north, Canada, as well as many other countries in the world. Feel free to visit our page at melissa.com/global-address-database for more information. The Melissa address table for the United States also contains over 5 million of what we call non-USPS addresses. These are real addresses and properties, but are not deliverable or serviced by the United States Postal Service. I actually live in a property with a non-USPS address, and I'm glad for Melissa's non-USPS data to ensure that I receive my deliveries from the other carriers who are willing to come up the mountain. The global address database for all countries contain a column containing a 10-digit number called the Melissa Address Key, MAC number. By assigning these globally unique numbers to all addresses, we maintain updates to the record, such as new zip code designations, changes to the street name, census information, updated latitude and longitude, and others. You can receive the update as an entire set or handle just delta updates to save server time and labor by joining on the MAC number and updating the fields that matter to you. Across any of your databases that contain various forms of address data, we can help you append this special MAC number that will help you link and dedupe your records based on the address. If you need to enrich your customer records with additional demographics, firmographics, geographic, and property information, we can supply the data for you based on your MAC numbers. Going from left to right here are some examples of bad address data that Melissa's global address database tackles for you. Misspellings, such as the street name Amadeo Drive, missing street directionals that matter in locating the correct house, such as Teakwood Drive East versus potentially Teakwood Drive West. Inaccurate or incomplete postal codes, such as the one for New York, New York. Vanity city names versus the USPS official last line city name that may cause duplicates in your database. Cranston versus Providence are both valid for the same address. And last but not least, our beloved non-USPS addresses. As mentioned earlier, with great addresses, you need great geopoints or latitude longitude points in order to bring your data to that next spatial level and help with visualization on maps. Incorrect geopoints will affect your ability to accurately map addresses for logistics planning, target marketing, and business intelligence, or BI. Through multiple sources such as census and navigational data and our location algorithms, Melissa can provide over 95% rooftop geopoints for addresses in the address table. The image shown contains red dots representing the physical location of addresses for homes and businesses in a specific polygon next to Disneyland in Anaheim, California. Melissa has 3 levels of geopoint accuracy. Rooftop level points is what it sounds like. The point is on the property or building. This is very useful for insurance and tax jurisdictions, risk exposure analysis, delivery routing or planning, and many other use cases. Below that level of accuracy, you can get a point representing a group of houses in the same zip N+4 for perhaps a store locator. Or you can even go to a wider area such as a zip code area for localized marketing campaigns. By knowing the exact latitude and longitude, and thus the exact physical location on Earth of a particular address, you can better plan product routing and delivery, targeted marketing and sales, or advertising. This can allow businesses to analyze their customer data on maps and spot trends or plan territories and better coordinate operations. Governments or businesses dealing with public safety can better analyze coverage of services or with appended demographics, better allocate resources to where it is needed. Let me take you through a sample of what can be available to you with Melissa's global address database. Here, we see a zoomed out map image with Disneyland, the happiest place on Earth, to the left, because that's how happy you'll be with good, clean data, and a polygon selection of a desired area to the right in a light shade of red with a red borderline. Using that desired polygon, we can select all of the addresses in that area. The green dots are all of the address points in that polygon. The red dot shows one record in particular that was selected with its metadata and attributes shown in the table to the right. You have access to various address component fields, such as the address, city, state, zip, but also the parsed components, breaking down the street into its predirection, south, its street name, Claremont, and the street suffix, street. The 10-digit MAC number is a unique key for this address, and if you have variations of this address across your databases, we can standardize them and link them all to just this one number per address for you to easily join together. From the Residential Business Delivery Indicator, or RBDI, we see that this address in particular is R for residential. It's in the state of California, county of Orange, at a specific census tract and block, as seen in the 15 or 16 character census key. Of course, the rooftop latitude and longitude are provided. We even have the elevation from sea level and additional GIS data, such as hazard information, fire, flood, tsunami, and earthquake for each point in the address table. On this selected address, we are able to append demographic information. So at 1317 South Claremont Street, using consumer databases, we can add on demographics such as consumer name, the household income range, gender, length of residence, marital status, presence of children, ethnic group, and many more fields that are available to you. At the same address, we can also append property information, such as the assessor's parcel number or APN, property information such as the owner's name and information, the year the property was built, land use codes, deed transaction history for this property. Additional fields, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, if it has a pool or not, and all other available information on the property. You might notice the last line in the table to the right. It begins with MD well-known text, and the value begins with the word polygon. That is the shape of the parcel of the land that belongs to this address. When available, we even have the shape of the building on the parcel. All of the above mentioned data from addresses, points and polygons, enriched data such as consumer demographics and property information can be used together to enhance your business intelligence and analytics, or simply to fill in anything you are missing. And now it's time for a quick poll.
Excellent. So we'd like to know how often you update your data. Is that monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or perhaps never? We'll give folks just a moment to select their answers. Certainly looks like we have a clear winner. And monthly wins at 45%, but pretty close second with semi-annually and quarterly. Excellent. Thanks everyone for participating. We appreciate it. All right, Daniel, back to you.
Thank you, Ms. Barbary. And monthly, that's a good frequency to keep your data updated. Right now, we have my co-speaker, Todd Troughton from Stella Rad.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Barbary. So resuming the PowerPoint, our company is located in St. Louis, Missouri, and we have a GIS system specifically for telecommunications companies. It was invented in a garage in the late 80s, as many interesting things are invented in garages, and we have over 75 clients today, and the software is available in French, Spanish, English. So we're everywhere from Africa to Paraguay, Mongolia. However, most clients are within the US. So the system originally was developed to track outside plant assets for telephone companies for tax purposes and network troubleshooting. So principally it was telephone poles, cables, hardware. However, an evolution in the software has added modules that track end user data, meaning the customers and specifically their addresses. And so that's how I got to meet the fine folks at Melissa Data. The need for addresses with accurate lat longs, and we're not mailing packages, but we're pinpointing these locations on a map. And why did this all happen? Because the government decided to throw a bunch of money to the providers to build out rural broadband or underserved census blocks, as they put it. So Daniel's house up on the mountaintop, for example, if he's the only home up there, it's very expensive to run a cable 2 miles up the mountain just to pick up one house. So the government stepped in, other scenarios, farming communities, to subsidize the phone companies for those efforts so that they could get broadband, faster internet. So these funding programs began in 2013 in the Obama administration, where Connect America was rolled out to bring 23 million Americans 10 meg or faster broadband if they did not have 10 meg. And since then, other programs have been added, especially with the COVID, the pandemic. Obviously, the need for fast internet and lots of it at home became paramount. So literally, some of our clients were handing cables through the windows. There wasn't time to bury cables, just so they could get fast internet for kids in school and folks working from home. So the latest plan is the RDOF, which is interesting because it's a reverse auction. So bidders would say how much money they'd need from the government to help their effort to build broadband, and whoever bid the least amount of money was awarded that census block to build it out. So all these programs require constant updates to the FCC, the regulatory authority that's making sure they're delivering the fast broadband they promised. So that's why we need Melissa data. And the advantages, after looking at several vendors and county data, I landed on Melissa for a number of reasons. As Daniel mentioned, the business residential flag is important, and the ability to draw a polygon on a map and submit that, say, I only want these address points within this polygon, or by zip code, by county. So there's flexibility there. The pricing is significantly less than their competitors, and I had 90% rooftop accuracy, but I think Daniel's slide says it's up to 95% in most areas. Also, interestingly enough, the government has some reports required from 2010 census data and some 2020. So it's important to be able to maintain both data sets, and Melissa offers that. This slide is simply a screen from our software interface, and this is how we import the file provided by Melissa. So we can place a symbol on the map at that specific lat long. We can designate what symbol. In most cases, our clients discern between residential premise versus a business location. And then all the other information, Daniel pointed out, the demographics are very important to many of our clients. I'll show you why in a moment. And this is simply the result once we turn on a satellite image, and you can see that these points are smack dab in the middle of the rooftop. You know, problems from other vendor data sets that we've experienced would be in the center of the parcel versus the actual rooftop. And that's especially a problem in rural areas where it may be a farm, you know, a huge acreage of a farm, but it's nowhere near the center of the lot. The farmhouse would be closer to the front of the lot. So when we first set out to correct any points that weren't rooftop accurate, we ran into some problems with the satellite imagery. You know, oftentimes you can have cloud cover, snow, as in this example, or tree cover that makes it hard to see the structures. This is our user interface from our web-based platform, and this will show you a result of bringing in the Melissa data and adding to it the information that the FCC requires. Essentially, what's the fastest internet speed that address could enjoy based on their network location is 50 meg. However, they're currently taking 20 meg. So all that information, along with FIPS code and census tract block numbers, are important. And also, Daniel mentioned the MAC code, which is a static number, and that is very handy for our disciplines because we can link the address to the symbol on the map with that number. And then if a CSR might edit the address, RD period, then it won't affect the link is forever. This is the screen from our software where we actually send the reports to the FCC and build them based on the technology for each address. And then to wrap up the demographics, this screen is especially useful. It's a way to build special marketing queries and say, hey, show me anybody who could get 50 meg, but only has 20 meg, and they've lived in their home for 10 years or longer, 2 adults or more, and then some of the other options Daniel showed, like household income could be brought into the mix, internet usage. So it's a way to help market and pinpoint specific customers. So in summary, address points that Melissa provides are way superior to the partial data. The demographics for not much extra money per 1,000 records can be included. And then we've found with our clients that we start with the Melissa data set and we explore any of the 5% bad points, so to speak, and try to correct them using the satellite imagery or ultimately out in the field with the GPS device. So thank you.
Thank you, Todd. You can get to the last slide there. Thank you, Todd, so much, and thank you everyone for listening. Todd, I want to thank you. I mean, your rural broadband outreach has definitely helped me up on my mountain, so I can watch all the streaming services that I want 24/7. So thank you for that. Definitely live up in a rural mountain, but together I'm glad we were able to make this happen. Well, now there's a second poll question. And also, we can take any questions that might have come in during this presentation.
Excellent. So while folks are letting us know if they need overlays for information there, Daniel, a couple of questions already come in for you. What data formats do you support?
Oh, we support all formats under the sun and any other galaxies out there. We can work on fixed file formats, comma, tab, pipe, other delimited formats. We can work with DBF files and shape files, GeoJSON, and geodatabases. Speaking about databases, different database engines, but to work with you, we can also work Microsoft Excel or even Access if you need it.
That's great. And then what other data sets do you have also?
Oh, that's a good question. We have many data sets not mentioned in this webinar. It's just too much for one session, but you can always feel free to visit www.melissa.com and click on the tab for lookups or direct marketing. There you have access to free lookups and trials of our various web services and data sets. So you can do individual lookups. You can try a property lookup. You can try a consumer, a pen. Then you can always reach out to me or our sales department for more information.
Another question here, how long do you think it will take to deliver the global address data of US and territories?
How long? Well, that's an interesting question. How long will it take to deliver the data? That depends on your rural broadband speed. You just download as fast as you can get it.
That's easy enough, right?
Well, that was my attempt at a joke. Sorry, everyone. So the database is already available, right? We have over 200 million points, and depending on your selection, let's say you just wanted a state or a few states or a polygon area. Once that's selected, then we can on our website. There's actually you can click and make the selection and just download it yourself. So that's pretty much on the fly. But if you wanted the whole country or nationwide or large areas, you can work with us and we can put it up to some secure FTP site or send it to your FTP server. And that's just on a per request. But there is an automated way you can do it from our website.
That's great. It's always good to have options for folks. Next question, does your business data file contain NAICS code SIC code, and number of employees.
The North American Industry Classification System, NAICS code? Yes. So we
Yes.
have, those are part of what we call firmographics. So RBDI, our Residential Business Delivery Indicator, R for residents, B for business. So you have demographics, that's for consumers, and we have firmographics, which are the demographics for firms or companies. So yes, we do have all of those.
Excellent. So remind folks again, please, that address where they can get more information.
Yeah. So our website's www.melissa.com. And that's our website with all the way from enterprise services to lookups. There are 2 tabs on there. The lookups tab, where you can have free trial to try searching up stuff for free and getting access to free data. There's a second tab called direct marketing. Those 2 can get you to get free trials, free data quality audit, and professional services. So that's, again, melissa.com, www.melissa.com.
Wonderful. Well, we encourage folks to type in any last-minute questions that they may have so that the team can follow up with you personally. Just a reminder that we will be in touch in the next day or so with a link to the recording and an attendance certificate, as well as any links and resources that were shared today. We appreciate you also completing our brief survey on the way out. Special thanks again to Daniel and Todd for sharing their expertise, along with Dong's help with the presentation and Amanda with the logistics. We appreciate the team. Thanks so much, everyone. Make it a great day. Tell a friend about Melissa, Stellar Rad, and of course, Directions Magazine. Thanks.